Diving back into the world of illusions and spellcasters for you today. Of course, don't be like 30% of you. I say this every single video, but make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel so you guys don't miss out on more content. So what in the world are we giving away today? Well, we're going to be giving away another one of those cool playmats that I just mentioned as per usual. If you want to find out if you won the previous day, there's a link down below so that you guys are like, oh, well, that was me or whatnot. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you guys don't miss out on more goodies. Well, that's all I got. Let's pass on over to today's deck profile. Somebody's literally going to comment, be like, Robbie, we already did a Chimera profile. Well, we did a Chimera profile with Vanquish Soul, which was kind of cool. Now this time we're going to be extending out this package quite a lot more, and we're going to be discussing some of the more utility options, because we just got Baphomet here, which actually kind of changes a little bit of the playing field. Now Baphomet, two monsters with different types between Fiend, Beast, and Illusion, so a combination of those. It becomes Chimera while in the grave and is still treated as a Phantom Beast, and then on Fusion Summon you can send a Beast, Fiend, or Illusion monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then during your opponent's turn, quick effect and banish this card from your graveyard. Target one of your banished Fiend, blah blah blah, Illusion, or whatever, and go ahead and special summon that. Now we're messing around with like some cool little option trees down here that you could essentially banish, set up. It's kind of interesting. Now the way they're going to get banished is going to be usually through the branded fusion side of things here. So basically the branded fusion package gives you the consistency that the Fallen of Albaz package would give you, with a lot more little extra gas per se. So we'll dig into this. I'll explain more of the Chimera cards because they are a little bit strange for some people. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, standard hand trap. You're going to need some defensive options. And then we play two copies of Baphomet here. Now, Baphomet on normal or special, you can add a level 4 beast monster and or a Chimera fusion from your deck to your hand. So yes, it does recruit for both. You can ask special summon from the next deck for the rest of this turn except for fusion monsters. Well, that's easy. And this is sent to the graveyard for a fusion material. You can target one illusionist monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So you do get a free monster out of, dumping this, as long as you have previous materials down. Of course, we have one Blazing Cartesia. We know the value tree that this gives you in standard branded at this point in time, and you do want to continue to be able to generate, good value off of this. Now we have triple copies of Cornfield here. Now remember, most of these illusion monsters all include if this card battles a monster, they cannot be destroyed by battle because they're illusions, but they can still inflict damage, which is okay. So you can discard this card to add one monster that mentions Chimera Fusion from your deck to your hand, except for this card. And then when a card effect that activates that targets a card or cards while you control a Chimera, quick effect, you can banish this from your graveyard to negate that effect. So what they tried to do with these cards was they tried to add some extra negation clauses onto them in the form of, the monsters. And I think that was a really cute idea for what you try to bring to the table with this, which the uniqueness is pretty good. And then of course we play two copies of Fallen of Albaz. You can mess around with ratios at least a lot more in terms of the deck build, but for very early sake, I think that this was fine. And then of course we have triple copies of Gazelle. So on normal or special summon, you can add one level 5 Fiend monster or a Chimera Fusion from your deck to your hand. So once again, this does tutor for Chimera Fusion here, so you can do your thing. And if this is sent to the Great Race Fusion material, you can add an illusionist monster from your deck to your hand. So once again, we are meeting all of those fantastic requirements here that you want for these standard monsters, and this is a beast. So unfortunately, both of these being beast and fiend, they don't trigger for the illusion extra value, but that's fine. Now we do have one King Tiger Wang Hu here. Now this is a beast monster that you can set up and revive. Alright, a walking, talking floodgate might not be, the craziest thing in the world, but this is something that you can do in the deck that is not going to really punish you in terms of value. Actually, if anything, this is actually a pretty unique interaction for the deck. So I like this. Then we have the triple copies of Mere Swordsman here. Same Illusionist Clause. If it battles, monster cannot be destroyed by battle. And then, quick effect, you can tribute this, special summon a monster that mentions Chimera Fusion from your deck. And then when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, while you control that Chimera quick effect, banish this from your hand or graveyard to negate that effect. Easy stuff here. And then, of course, you're going to be playing some more specific option trees here to make sure that you can paralyze the opponent here. So hand traps with, cross options. So you get the one Nibiru. Of course, we also have 2 Spriggan's Kit, your triple copies of the Branded Fusion, the 1 Branded Lost, your 1 Called by the Grave. Then there's this card. This is the absolute value monster in the deck. So during the main phase, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from the extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material, including a beast or a fiend. And during the main phase, during your main phase, if this card is in your graveyard and you have Chimera up and running, you can activate one of these effects. You can add this card to your hand, or you can banish this card to special summon a Gazelle and a Baphomet from your deck and or graveyard. So you get some crazy good value out of this. And this is also on a quick play, by the way. So you're getting, the ability to fusion summon during the opponent's turn with this. You're getting the ability to set up, searchability with this. There's a lot of things that you can do with this. Then, of course, we have 2 Crossout Detonators, 1 Dark Ruler, 1 Lightning Storm, 2 Talents, 2 Thrust, 1 Retribution, 1 Evenly, and 2 copies of Infinite Permanence. Down here in the extra deck, we have 1 Lulu Walleth, 2 copies of Rin the Broom, 2 copies of Mirjade, 1 copy of Lubellion, 2 Guardian Chimera, 1 Granganolo. Then we have the 1 copy of the Baphomet to the Phantom. We already talked about this. Card's really good. And then we have Chimera, the Phantom Beast King. So this card is always going to be Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast, while on the field, and will always be treated as a Phantom Beast card. That's easy. You only use each of the following effects of this card. So if this card is Fusion Summon, you can activate this effect. During the end phase, send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. So straight off the bat, you get a free hand rip with this, which this card has plagued my existence for the free hand rip you get for this. And then during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 beast, fiend, or illusionist monster in your graveyard, and special summon it. Yep, that's right. You get the ability to set up a free revive for literally any of the 3 types. And then that's where, our walking, talking floodgates, option trees kind of come into. Now we upgrade into a bigger boss monster. So this is a Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast plus an Illusion monster. Or actually, it's 1 plus Illusionist monsters. This card's name becomes Chimera, as per usual. It's always treated as a Phantom Beast card while on the field or in the graveyard. And this card can make an attack on monsters each battle phase up to the number of fusion materials used for its fusion summon. And of course, if this card battles an opponent's monster, it cannot be destroyed. Alright, and then if this card battles an opponent's monster at the end damage type, you can change that monster's attack to 0 and negate its effects permanently. This isn't like a crazy strong boss monster, but it does add in some particularly strong lore to the deck, and I actually quite like that. And then we have 1 copy of Albion here. Side deck is still, up for discussion, but this is what we put together for the very early testing phases of this deck. And I think this deck is, the fact that we just got its first layer of support, I think does say that there is some pretty interesting stuff to come for this. So, please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I have been trying to pay attention to some of the ideas that you want, but buckle up. We have lots of interesting ideas to come. So please, of course, get entered in for today's giveaway, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.